Even the best laid plans get sidetracked occasionally. We'll get to that in a moment. In the meantime, the Tesla S&P edition strategy is set. The legal battle with Martin Tripp has come to an end. Elon would actually listen to a merger discussion with another company, and much more. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 636, recorded for December 6th, 2020. This show is brought to you by my supporter, Brad. Brad wants to encourage all of you to consider joining him as a supporter of Tesla Tidbits on Patreon.com for as little as $1 a month. Let's join together to keep the Tesla Tidbits coming. Welcome to the first weekly edition of Tesla Tidbits, which would have been posted earlier yesterday, but alas, even the best laid plans can get derailed. As I'd told super patrons on the last show, I'd not been feeling well, and I confidently asserted that it was not COVID-19. Well, not the first nor the last time I've been wrong, as both my wife and I were diagnosed on Thursday last week. While I've been doing well for a couple days now, my wife is only just now feeling better, and I've had to take the majority of handling the kids while she was on the mend. My wife and I were extremely fortunate, as the symptoms manifested for me as basically longer-lasting, worse flu. My wife experienced the same thing, despite being asthmatic, which is supremely fortunate, given what the disease can do to those with respiratory issues. I'm personally just trying to get rid of the cough at this point, and my wife turned the corner today getting rid of her body aches and is just contending with the same cough and a little bit of fatigue. I just want to give a huge shout out to this community. All the well wishes, all the support, you guys are just amazing. One of my most liked posts ever on Twitter was this announcement, and I was frankly overwhelmed with everyone's concern and support. Everything we always say about this community is so true. Such a wonderful thing to be part of. Thank you again to everybody. Now, on to the actual Tesla news. First up is the answer to the method that Tesla will be added to the S&P 500, courtesy of the Tesla Daily podcast. You'll recall that there was an option to have the stock added in one shot on the 21st, or in two halves on the 14th and the 21st. The S&P decided to do it all in one shot on the 21st. We still don't know who Tesla is kicking out of the S&P as a result of their addition yet, though it looks we'll get to find that out on the 11th. Item number 2 today comes from Bloomberg and lets us know that the long-running legal battle between Tesla and former employee Martin Tripp has come to a close, with Tesla winning a decisive victory via settlement. If you're unaware, this dispute goes all the way back to June 2018, where Tesla accused Tripp of writing software to hack into Tesla's manufacturing operating system, sharing that data with outside sources, and making false claims to the media about the information that was stolen. Tripp contends he was a whistleblower informing the public of inefficiencies material to stockholders and countersued for defamation for comments made by Elon or Tesla Communications related to the lawsuit. Tripp would eventually fire his counsel, and it would appear he's finally realized the hopelessness of his case and agreed to settle the suit with Tesla. Tesla must really have had him nailed down, as he has agreed to pay Tesla $400,000 to settle the lawsuit out of court. Tripp also admits to violating trade secret laws and confidentiality agreements. He also owes another $25,000 to the company after revealing more information about the company in the face of a court order not to do so. It's good to finally see this one come to a close, as this had been a long-running, ugly dispute between the two sides. Tripp fired off many a tweet proclaiming his innocence, along with various vitriol toward the company throughout the dispute. While I'm sure this won't necessarily stop him, currently his Twitter account is suspended, but there's no indication if this is a permanent ban. Item 3 today comes to us from Tasmanian. Elon was recently in Germany to accept an award in person, and this came along with an interview. Part of the interview had the interviewer positing that with the company now being worth over $500 billion, Tesla could take over other manufacturers if it wanted to. While Elon put down any thought of a hostile takeover, he left open the possibility of an amicable merger, saying, quote, "We are definitely not going to launch a hostile takeover. If somebody said it would be a good idea to merge with Tesla, we would have this conversation," end quote. This is one where I openly disagree with Elon. Legacy manufacturers are just that, legacy. Legacy thinking, legacy engineering, legacy manufacturing plants. To me, there is nothing in a legacy manufacturer worth purchasing for Tesla. You might argue the plants would be worth a look, but in order to retrofit everything to Tesla's needs, they're better off doing what they're doing now and just purchasing land and building from scratch, because it's ultimately a cheaper transaction in the end. I suspect Elon may have just been giving the PR line on this one. The bottom line is legacy manufacturers need Tesla, Tesla does not need them. And I think Elon is smart enough to know this and not take any deal that would possibly be offered. Speaking of awards, Elon wasn't done picking them up. Thanks to Joshua Adams and Elon Times for this one, Fortune named Elon their Business Person of the Year. And why not? Tesla is flying high, SpaceX has sent two groups of astronauts to the ISS, and full self driving is in the hands of early testers, looking like exactly what was promised back when the Paint It Black video was released way back when. Because the article is paywalled, I don't have any further details on the award, but I think it pretty much speaks for itself. Musk companies are running at peak efficiency, notice I didn't say firing on all cylinders, and everything seems to be coming up roses for Elon and his teams. Congrats to Elon and all those working for him. It's easily argued the award belongs as much to his charges as it does to Elon, as without their execution, his vision means nothing. Item number 5 today is a bit of a surprising one. CNBC reports an interesting story that Elon is planning to move to Texas. The move would make a lot of financial sense as well as logistical sense as far as where Elon's time is currently needed. On the financial side, California sports one of the highest costs of living in the country, as well as the highest state tax rate. On the flip side, Texas has no state income tax, and the cost of living is, to borrow one of Elon's phrases, an order of magnitude lower. In addition, Texas is the home of SpaceX's experimental efforts in getting Starship off the ground, as well as the brand new factory Tesla is currently constructing in the US. There's not really a lot left at Fremont for Elon to monitor now, with the Model Y assembly line and ramp complete, so it would only make sense for him to oversee operations in Austin from a Tesla perspective. If there happens to be an office there for him in the long term, it would make plenty of sense. Even if Tesla further expands in the future to include an East Coast factory in the US, having a central location for the CEO to occupy makes a lot of logistical sense, allowing him to access either coast quickly. I'll keep an eye out for any official confirmation as this develops. Item number 6 today is a new House bill in Michigan that has passed that again would lock out direct sales and service from owners and would-be owners in the state. Caitlin Monahan tweeted out, quote, "The Michigan House passed HB 6233 prohibiting the sale and service of Rivian, Lucid Motors, Tesla, and Lordstown Motors vehicles in the state, which would forfeit the opportunity for Detroit to be a part of the auto industry of the future. Tell the Michigan Senate to vote no," end quote. Normally, once we've got past initial bans, these things aren't an issue anymore. But apparently, the big three are attempting to stave off irrelevance by legislation yet again, rather than, building compelling vehicles instead. Our final item this week is one to bring the mood back up. Y'all know how I hate ending episodes on a downer, and Tesla already has the story to end us with a smile. You may remember way back that there used to be an Easter egg that would either play Run Run Rudolph or Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, depending on how it was activated, and then turn your car's display into Santa's sleigh, and on-screen cars into reindeer. Teslarati reports that software update 2020.48.10 brings back this Easter egg, as well as some other Christmas-themed hidden bits, including light strings adorning the camping mode graphic. To trigger the eggs, either just select it from the toy box, or you can use the voice command ho 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 to play Run Run Rudolph, or ho 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 not funny to get the Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer version. And that'll do it for this week's show. Thanks to all my patrons supporting the show at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. And as always, I have a special shout out to all the super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Todd Sullivan, Mitch Long, Zortec LED Canada, Morven Ogg, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, T Sportline, Vicky Kirk, Ricky Johnston, Nathan Garza, Ed Patterman, and Sunil Joseph. If you have any feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. Until next week, keep it charged and hit the road.